Alright guys, here we're going to talk about Season 4, Episode 5 of The Twilight Zone. So Lee, what did you think about this episode?
I thought it was okay. I had some cool ideas, but in the end, it infuriated me and I did not like it.
I thought, I agree, it had cool ideas. I think this episode could have been 22 minutes and it been better. I felt very long because I'm like, okay, I understand it because I picked it up the first time you do it, but you hammer it like so many times of the concept of this girl who has been raised in like, it seems like, I guess they're just a group of intellectuals that are attempting to prove things about how man progressed and how we used to have the ability to talk telepathically.
Yeah.
And before we could use words, and then as we used words, we just stopped doing that for whatever reason. Why would you keep?
And they were like, well, we have these theories, and maybe we have experimented, but what if we could raise children and just only have them do that? They'd be such powerful telepaths and all that stuff.
Yeah,
yes.
It seems crazy to me how, based on some of the things they present to you here, the main character is this little girl. Her parents die. She has been raised a telepath and has never heard anyone talk, been around talking to people or whatever.
Fully immersed in a telepathy only program.
Yes, and after 3 months of being amongst the normies, it has broken her psychologically, and she lost her ability to communicate telepathically.
Right.
Now, when you say this, it would make me believe that the parents should never have been even able to learn how to be telepathic and then go back and forth. Or when you pose something like her teacher still being able to do both things.
Or the relatives, the not relatives, whatever, the like uncles, whatever you want to call them, the people in the program that come to see her. The
step-Germans or whatever.
Yeah, they can come and like they can still do it, but also talk. And there's a cool little thing where they're like, I'm missing a word. Can you? And he's like, what are you, an idiot? It's that. And he goes, oh, okay. I'm like, all right, that's cool. There's like little moments like that are cool to me.
I don't know if that was cool for the reason you think it was cool.
Fuck you.
I believe, because there are intelligent people that use the words just in their head. I don't think it was that he didn't have the verbal word for it. I think it was that he's German and just didn't know the word.
Here's the thing, though, is that like the whole time I was screaming, because I've thought about this science fiction topic before. If you could do telepathy, you wouldn't send words to people.
Yeah,
you would send like ideas, and it's like incomprehensible to us and all that stuff. And this actually addresses that when she's
it does show a boat. Yeah,
he's trying to talk about a boat, and she's like, "That's not a boat. This is a boat," or whatever. I want to mention Star Trek.
Okay.
Because there was an awesome episode of Star Trek: The Next Generation where there's a race that communicates purely like telepathically, and they're trying to learn how to talk, and they're kind of like these people where they don't really like talk good or whatever, they're not used to it, and someone says, oh, it's like a summer or whatever, and he goes, summer? And then one of like the telepaths that we know and love just like looks at him really hard, and he goes, oh, summer, right? Because she was like sending him like the warmth of the sun and the smell of the grass and like the light and like the idea of summer. And I'm like, oh, it's so cool.
And while I think those things are cool, and I think that is you making it better than what they were doing in this episode, because if he wasn't a German guy, I would have been like, yes. But I think because he was slipping in and out of English to German.
I was trying to move away from that topic and just talk about the mental image topic to avoid this
I like the mental image topic, but I think based on some of the other things they dropped in this episode, like the ball, I don't think the writer was too like hot to trot on this topic. Like he had some cool gimmicks here, but it was weird where like the teacher said like, you were raised to be a medium, you're talking to the dead, that's what your thing is, and that's what the teacher was raised to be, and it just overlaps with what telekinesis is, and that's interesting.
Oh, is it? Because she can talk mentally.
Yes. But she was she wasn't raised a telepath, she was raised to talk to the dead. Okay. And she was using her juju to talk to her or whatever. But it was clearly the same telepathy.
It's the same juju, though.
It is.
Yes, exactly.
But she even accused her of being, she's like, you were raised a medium, blah, blah, blah. You were trying to talk to the dead. And that's not, from what I understand, anything. But they did say earlier on, if we raise our kids this, who knows what other powers they may develop. And I thought there was going to be something with, she was able to like teleport herself out of the fire or something.
Well, she can see through other people's eyes.
Yes.
There's all sorts of weird shit going on that doesn't make sense with just telepathic communication.
But how'd she even get out of the house?
They like led her out because they knew that it was they talk about that. It's like really dumb.
Wait, maybe I missed this. What did they say?
They say like, oh well if they hadn't have trained her so good to like pick up on their mentals, then then they wouldn't have been able to guide her out during the fire or something like that.
But then how did they get trapped in the fire?
Because there was a fire in the way, but they could get her out.
I don't like that.
I would have liked the episode, but
I would have liked an
understand.
additional power to be displayed at some point there, because we did see additional powers. So I was like, okay, we're gonna get something else cool here.
Yeah,
Things
it
are gonna
plays
happen.
super loose and weird and all that stuff. Yeah. The thing with the medium, with the teacher and all that stuff, I took to be like she was taught something or like whatever that's like maybe similar, like you're saying, but it's this like mischaracterization of it, like she's demonizing this thing. She like hates the that the girl can do that and all that stuff, right? At the end, there's a line like, well, they all meant well. And I'm like, not the teacher. The teacher was horrible.
Yeah, the teacher is like a little Hitler.
She doesn't even
the
teach
mom
them. She just like yells and all that stuff.
Like, you have no right. You literally kidnapped this girl. You have no right.
Okay, because the whole point of this episode is you have a kid who was raised in like a certain way that is like foreign to like us.
Yeah.
And better, but we can't tell. And like maybe arguably like whatever, so we go, oh, it's a shame what the like what they did to her. So there's all this stuff about like you're gonna be like everyone else, like everyone else, like everyone else. Like that's the point of this episode.
And you can take that to be any culture, anything.
Exactly.
It applies,
I thought it's either like Jewishness or some other cultural thing or something like that. But she's like, oh, you're a like you're one of those whatevers. I know you're like your type. You eat babies or whatever.
I picture it as like a Native American or African thing where they're like, oh, they're uncivilized. It's like, no, they have their own civilization, and you're applying your shit to them.
100%.
And this one literally is better than us because it has magical powers.
Yeah.
I just hate the idea that they go away.
But the episode's not really about that.
No.
Because, Rod Serling comes in at the end. This is why I like hate the episode.
Okay.
Because even if it's only about whatever it's about, it kind of sucks for the reasons that we're nitpicking, right? But if it's about this other better thing that's more interesting, at the end he's like, love conquers everything. I'm like, what? You're just gonna like erase her culture or something like that with love or whatever? I would have ended it where the new mom doesn't quite know it, but she can pick up a little bit of what the like kid's putting out.
It gave vibes that something like that was happening.
And she's like, she loves me too. I know it. And I was like, oh, they're gonna have like they're gonna zoom in on her head again and show something and do something like that.
That zoom on the head thing was like weird because of like the location of the head. Like it was such a weird high forehead part.
Really weird. Yeah.
Like I would have liked some like furrowing brow or some eyes or something that like is like not just her mind.
They just go in and then show like an egg-shaped insert of like her own kid dying or whatever it was. Yeah, it's the whole thing.
And that was weird. You think if your kid drowned, they would carry your kid to your house and say, she was swimming.
Is this him? Is this her?
It just seemed, it seemed like I'm like, oh, that was a weird little cut in. Like that you would have seen in a 22-minute episode, but I'm like, this is an hour episode. You showed forehead for longer than you showed this death scene.
Yeah.
Yeah, I liked concepts that were displayed, but overall the episode it dragged on me. It felt like it was just too long.
Yeah. I think the mental image thing would have been good, but I neither liked the message nor the actual, like if it's only about telepathy, it's dumb. Because why did she just lose it in like a few months?
Yeah.
That's so awful.
Something you've done your whole life,
she was
you
raised
can lose
that way,
that quickly?
Even if a kid just like spoke another language, they wouldn't lose it. They'd be like, oh, Tio, Auntie, whatever.
Yeah.
They would just snap back into it. People do that.
I did like though how like one literally blocks the other. So like in the beginning she's hearing like
when it like hurts her, she's like, oh, it's like grating on me. All these like, what are you doing? What are these things on the side of my head
like,
for?
That annoyed me too because I'm like, she would have heard noise. She wasn't deaf.
Yes.
She just never heard voices. Are voices that intrusive? Like
yes.
Yes, they are. But
maybe they are.
Yeah.
They're shouting at people.
Yeah, but that's this episode of Twilight Zone. It was okay.
Yeah, no, the cool ideas are cool enough. That whole mental pictures thing, I think, if you've never been exposed to that before, would have been enough. A bunch of little people in the 60s were like, that's awesome, and went off to do things.
And that was one of their better, cropped in.
Perhaps the writer of the Star Trek The Next Generation episode.
I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of that stuff was seen via Twilight Zone, because what else was like this at the time?
Big time.
Nothing.
Okay.
All right, guys, that's this episode of Twilight Zone. Let us know in the comments below what you thought about it. Don't die in a fire, and we'll see you next time.
Hello, internets. I just love watching JustDaggers. If you've enjoyed this video as much as I have, click that subscribe button. Peace out, homies.